WATD presents John Paul, the Car Doctor. All things automotive. Have questions? Call or text 781-837-4900. Now, here's John Paul, the Car Doctor.
Good Sunday morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Car Doctor program on 95.9 WATD. My name's John Paul, the Car Doctor, here to help you with your car problems. Well, we were supposed to have Courtney Hanson joining us to talk about what she has going on. I remember talking to her years back when she came out with a book called The Garage Girl's Guide to Everything You Need to Know About Your Car. Haven't talked to her since. Her PR agency called me or sent a note to me and said she has part 2 of her series, Ride of Your Life, starting up on Hulu, and wanted to know if I wanted to talk to her. I said yes, and a couple of weeks ago, we went back and forth a little bit, picked today. Their PR people said confirmed, and Paul, is Courtney with us?
Not so far.
Not so far. So I'm not sure what happened exactly, but like I do with every guest, usually a week or so before, I send them an email and just say, hey, just confirming that you're good to go for this weekend. Here's a number. Here's who's going to be producing. And didn't hear anything back, which had me a little concerned, but it was kind of a weird email address too. So I'm not sure what happened to Courtney, but maybe she'll still call in. We never know. So we'll talk about some of the emails I got this week, some questions. You can join us at 781-837-4900. We have a car review to talk about, and that's the BMW 2 Series. We'll talk about that after we wrap up a couple of questions here. Also, I was watching, I'm not a big racing fan, but if I happen to know a name in the race, I tend to want to watch it. And yesterday, there were 2 races on Fox. The Craftsman Truck Race and the ARCA race. So sort of the Saturday before the big Sunday NASCAR race is really what it comes down to. And the Craftsman Truck Race, and we've had him on the show before, Dale Quarterly. And Dale's been on the show, and we talked to him, and I know him from a long, long time ago. His father, Herb Quarterly, had a little used car lot in Abington, literally within walking distance from where I used to live. And at the same time, he also had, before that, or maybe even at the same time, had a little go-kart shop called Karting Sales. And both Dale and his brother Dean used to race go-karts, and they were quite competitive, and they'd go down to places like Daytona and race go-karts at over 100 miles an hour in Daytona, which was pretty interesting. But he ran the Craftsman Truck Race yesterday. He started off in like 30th place. The best he did was he probably got up to 26th or 25th. And I'm not sure what happened at the very end, but he didn't finish with like 4 laps to go. It was a pretty interesting race because I think from front to back of the pack, there was probably only a second difference between the leader and the end vehicle. For those who are old TV fans, Malcolm in the Middle, Frankie Muniz, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Paul,
maybe
you ever
Munez?
Yeah, that person. He also races in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He didn't do any better than Dale did at the end, I think. Maybe about the same. He was at the end, but I guess throughout his whole life, always wanted to be a race car driver. So. And I guess if you're formerly on TV, you can afford to be a race car driver.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting. My favorite author when I was a teenager, Terry Goodkind, he was a racer for RAL Racing. So, if you can, if you're popular enough, can afford a truck, you can do it.
I guess so. And Dale's kind of an interesting character because the Craftsman Truck Race Series typically is a bunch of young drivers. I think the youngest driver yesterday was 17. And the oldest driver was 64, which is Dale Quarterly. So the idea that, he's still racing in his 60s is pretty impressive. What's even more impressive is an hour after the race was the ARCA race. So it looks like regular NASCAR cars. And he was in